Well, I'm back. I'm back in the fucking building. Having a look at the scenes here, this is pretty grim, you know. I was kind of hoping they would have cleaned up a little bit for me. They could have done my washing, but no, there's just fucking tape everywhere. So managed to sneak in, you know. Had to get out of the cold, you know. The car was comfortable, don't get me wrong. I'm not here to complain about nothing, but the weather's getting fresh as fuck. It's freezing, you know. I'm inside with a fucking puffer jacket and a fucking beanie on, so I'm sure you can tell it's quite cold, but nevertheless, got to get onto the footy. What a fucking excellent round, really. I'm recording this right after, literally, basically after the final siren of the King's birthday clash. That game was fucking wicked, but I'll get into that later. We got many other tips and shit to talk about in the meantime. Got a lot wrong this week, a lot fucking wrong. There was a few long shots, a few that I feel like should have been gimmies. But we'll get into it, nevertheless. Anyway, let's fucking start with round one. Not round one, game one of round, whatever fucking round it was. Hawks and the Dogs. I was at this game and Dogs just didn't have that dog in them, you know? That's the actual pun. That was their banner when they were walking out. We got that dog in us, and apparently you just fucking don't. Newcomb, Weddle, Chol, and, you know, Ginnivan to an extent, all played fucking pivotal roles in this. Jai Newcomb is just one of the best, like, he's one of the best players running around in the comp right now. The impact that he manages to have in moments when they're necessary moments and just burst through fucking energy and shit like that, he's pretty unmatched in that Hawthorn's like side. I know that Will Day does a massive amount for that midfield, and I'm not trying to downplay Will Day or nothing like that, but oh fuck bro, watching Jai Newcomb, especially live, just his smarts and his positioning, the spots that he finds himself in on the ground, it's all very intentional, very intelligent. You know, he's a gem to watch. Weddle fucking blew this one out of the water as well. Couldn't catch him. McDonald had a pretty good game. He got a few good goals too, I think. Chol played fucking brilliant. You know, he was actually standing up as a true key forward, making Aaron Norton look like a fucking goose in comparison. You know, Chol cops a lot of shit and Aaron Norton cops a lot of slack. I just think it's a perfect time to sort of compare the two. With Sam Darcy out and missing Cody Waitman and the other few players and shit that the Dogs have out, their forward line needs to be as strong as ever. Yes, they have like a lot of ability to score from different avenues. A lot of different players from different positions in the Dogs team manage to kick goals in important moments and all that. But I really just think Aaron Norton does not stand up as a key forward. Regardless if his team does great or not, he rarely has moments that make me look at him with that sort of like belief that he can be the man. And Chol cops a lot of shit for being a pretty poor target as they're basically their only key forward, and he fucking lit it up in that game. He just played incredible. He copped a big fucking knock, not really sure how he didn't even get taken off the ground for the HIA and shit like that afterwards. Took a big knock and kicked the goal straight after that. You know, every moment that he needed, I think he really pulled himself in for. It was a great show out for him. And you know, Guinea gave a little sneaky one out the end. That was pretty fun. Or is it bad sportsmanship? Whatever. I don't give a fuck. It's interesting, you know. I was watching it with the Dogs and a fucking Hawks fan, so that, you know, that just drives up the tension in the crowd. It brings people into it. Sure, it's a bit shitty, whatever, I don't care, I like it. Brings a bit of spice into the game, you know, a bit of liveliness. I don't know if it was the bye that hurt the Dogs, you know, they didn't look the same way that they had been looking, didn't look the same like threatening aura that they had for the past couple of weeks. Wasn't really there, I don't feel. Whether that was up to them, you know, underperforming and shit like that, or Hawthorn's just fucking insane pressure. Their pressure was back. That was a big talking point over the past like couple of weeks where they've been having a bit of a quiet patch, bit of a rough one. Their pressure, it was back and in full force. They were all over the Dogs. They shut down that handball game so fucking well. There was a few times where the Dogs had a good handball chain going, but it always got cut off right before the Dogs sort of wanted it to. Like they're a very handball heavy team, like in those, to try find like the best position to move out from, and Hawthorn were just fucking smothering them. They were just like closing in around them. It was a very dominant performance. It was an interesting game, no doubt. Like the scores, they didn't get blown out, but it was a pretty comprehensive beating in my opinion. Vandermeer fucked a lot up, and I was pretty fuming. Fuck me. He's a shitty, sneaky kind of player, like a bit of the forward rat sort of shit is, you know. And he does pull it off occasionally, but he's just been pissing me off as of late. He's a very unlikable sort of shit stirrer, and he does a lot of stupid things that puts him in a weird position in my book. But you know, this game was fucking lovely to be at. There was great energy in the crowd. It really picked up towards the end of the game when the Dogs sort of pushed, put a bit of pressure back on him. I think Matt Kennedy was really fucking good for the Dogs Dogs this game. Libba had an off night, sad to see. Arns played all right. Who the fuck else? I don't know. The Bont played pretty good. But, you know, I just think generally their attitude was a little bit flat, and the Hawks really fucking made them pay for that one. So, Crows and Lions, this one was a modern day classic. What a fucking game to watch. This had me out of my seat a fair while throughout the game, to be honest. I got a bit of investment into the Crows. I really like their playing group. I really like what they're bringing to the table. Their brand is really fun. I've got kind of a dislike for Brisbane for whatever reason it may be, so this was quite a hyped up like match in my head, and I really could see it going either way, especially, you know, as the game went on. I still had no real idea as how it would play out. That last quarter was fucking insanity. The Crows coming out and kicking 5 quick ones to fucking really, well, they put themselves in front to a clearly ungettable margin. Well, it was gettable, we'll get into that, but it was just a fucking excellent start to that last quarter. It really brought the energy, really brought the intensity that they would have needed for the rest of the game, because fucking the Lions came pretty hard. They just managed to miss every fucking shot that they had at goal. Even when it was almost too late, they were missing the shit that would have brought it to a bit more of a respectable position. What was it? 8 points from really easy fucking like positions on the ground as well. Not all of them, but most of them. Lockie Neal missed one that was just a fucking gimme. You know, it's you can sum that up to the Crows' pressure, and a lot of the mistakes were due to Crows' pressure. The Crows' pressure was fucking intense as fuck the whole game. But at the end of the day, those converting on those shots would have changed the outcome, and I feel like Brisbane would be pretty filthy with themselves about that. Nothing about the play necessarily was bad, like from either team. I feel like this was a good performance both ways. It was just that the inaccuracy of the Lions really fucking killed them in the end. But shout out to the Crows. The Crows played fucking great. Lots of intensity, lots of action. It was a really good one. Benny Keys. Is Ben Keys and Josh Rochelle maybe not the best duo in the forward 50 across the comp. Maybe not the best duo, but they're the funnest to watch for fucking sure. Chuck in Rankin for a little bit of electricity every now and then. It's just it's something to behold of. I'm really happy for Rochelle sort of coming into this season and just showing that he's not all that shit chat TikTok to fucking what shit chat. What? You know, at the end of last year, he had all that drama going on about how he's just chatting shit and all the fucking, you know, Port fans are toothless or whatever the fuck. He's really come out this year and solidified himself with a couple great fucking games. The last 2 in particular, really strong performances. I feel like this game in particular, he really stood up. And Ben Keys was just fucking delightful to watch. Just delightful, you know? I can't, he might be my favorite player in the comp. He just genuinely might be. He's so fucking watchable. He's got a goofy, kind of cringy charm about him. Love him. I love the way he goes about it. Yeah, tough player. Tigers and Swans. This was, fuck. Long shot. Not even a long shot. I was pretty confident and it did not pay off. Tigers inexperienced, but this was just a boring fucking slop fest. Sydney found the most boring way to win. The commentators were trying to make the game fucking watchable and were sitting there going, you know, Swans are finding a bit of form, you know, this could be the turning point for this season. Yes, they get a few back. They get all of them back, I think. Gordon and Papley are coming back. I could be misinformed. I could have very well misheard what they were saying after the game, but that's what it sounded like. Now, I wasn't aware that they'd all be coming back at once at this big fucking brick, but this could be something different. This could make Sydney a different team going in because they're coming back from the bye and shit. So it could be different afterwards, could really be different, but I don't know. I just found this game boring and sloppy from both sides. Richmond fell the fuck away and disappeared for 2 quarters, you know, like entirely, stopped fucking playing. But I just find the method at Sydney not fun to watch. And that might be because they're missing a bit of run in the midfield and, you know, Warner's not in the best form and whatever, but I don't know. It was just not a fun game to watch. I thought this was must-watch tally. Spoon bowl fucking excellence, but no, this was just garbage, to be fair. And I'm not trying to fucking say that in any stretch of the imagination was this a different game if the umpiring decisions went different. Hear me out. The first quarter especially, there was just this weird shit where Sydney would get a lot of frees for a lot of shit that was clearly obvious, like ducking and shit like that. Richmond wouldn't get it for shit that didn't look like ducking, in my opinion, and there was just a few bad calls throughout this game that killed momentum patches. And I'm not trying to fucking say, again, not trying to say that the umps fucking sealed this one to Sydney. It was a blowout. It truly was. But I just feel like it could have been a different result internally for Richmond. It's still probably a loss with the way that they were playing on the day. They played pretty shit. Noah Bolter fucking did nothing. I keep thinking in my head, I'm like, Bolter's back, and he played that cracking game against the Gold Coast Suns under all that pressure, so it was gonna be the difference. Wasn't the difference. Wasn't that the case? But umpiring was shit in this game. That's all I'm fucking trying to say. It was just shitty umpiring. But yeah, I hate Corey Warner. I fucking hate Corey Warner. He looks like a prick. I don't know why. I think if I saw him walking down, I'd go, what a fucking wanker that cunt is. Just a tough looking. Sorry, man, slandering you. I've never met you, never will meet you, but fuck you look like a rich wanker cunt. Fuck you. Suns and Cats. This was a slow slog of a game, a fun one to watch, a very heavy, sloppy, wet, fucking just type of game. But Stengel killed this game. Like he might have been the difference, to be honest. He, you know, good on the Suns, they never won there, and this was probably one of their better performances at that venue, and fucking it was an interesting watch. But Stengel, every time he kicked a goal, it just lit the Cats up. He kicked them in times when they were needed. He played a ripper. I think he was outstanding this round. Fuck me, the Tom Stewart bump on Noah Anderson was huge. Was fucking massive. I think that's the biggest bump I've seen all year. Completely legal, nothing to be held account to. You know, I'm glad as well. But fuck, just folded him, just creamed the cunt into oblivion. Anderson's a tough bloke too, so it must have been a fucking big hit. Yeah, it's good to see that the bump's still alive and violent. It can be this like violent, aggressive bump, and I love when it happened. He was all goods, and it was just rough contact and shit, and you know, it makes those big hit impact moments that you love watching. It was cool. It's cool. Probably the highlight of the game, to be honest. A little bit of a slogfest, as I said. Giants and Port, fucking. Yeah. No two ways about it. We're in a bad spot. You know, lots of bad decision making. Lockie Whitfield fucking has a tendency to do that. I remember last year there was a game where he got 40 disposals, and I think about 3 of them were good. So I don't know. I'm pissed off. I'm pissed. I'm angry. It was a shit performance. It was fucking shit. You know, there wasn't too many positives. Cadman fucking fucked up a handball or a kick over or some shit in the last quarter when we had a heap of momentum running in, and I really thought we could turn it around. He just fucked something up and it didn't work. But that's not putting it on Cadman. I think he played a decent game throughout the night. Holy fuck, it was just bad. It was just fucking bad. Port were all over us. No excuses. No excuses. We're the worst team on the night. We're definitely just worse than Port Adelaide, and it fucking sucked. Good on them. They deserve the win, but just just not a good spot for us to be in. Don't think this does much for Port other than keeping the Ken conversation funny for an extra 2 weeks or something. We've lost all of our ability to punish. You know, fuck all score came from D50, and sure, that could have been because Port were aware of the fucking tsunami method and they planned for it. But if planning for it takes it out of our game completely, then we're fucked. So yeah, it was a boring one. Lots of different momentum killers throughout the game. It was just a fucking disheartening watch. We were in with a fair shot for most of the night, but it just slipped away from us in real time. I watched it happen. Yeah, no fucking fun. Grumpy, sad, boo-hoo. West to North, what the fuck was this? Another little bit of a fucking slop fest. West Coast kicked like fucking 113. At one point, that was their scoreline. What the fuck, bro? What the fuck? I'm not trying to be that guy, but if they kicked straight, this would be a different game. They could have fucking put, 10 goals on fucking North. It would have been very different, but it was shit. This was shit. This was spoonies, spoonfest, as they say. None of it was fucking fun to watch. The first quarter was fun from North, I guess, and the last quarter, good on them. You know, lots of heart and determination to scrap it back. But I wouldn't even take this win as something that you'd be proud of. I take it as a opportunity that West Coast missed, to be honest. This was not a very convincing performance, not a very entertaining performance. North should be better, and West Coast should have converted and should have won the game. It's really the only way to word it. It wasn't that fun. It just wasn't. And then Bombers Carlton, I fell asleep during this game. Not gonna lie, fell asleep halftime. It was an early night. I don't know how the fuck I was just gone skis. Too tired, couldn't watch it. Carlton got the win. Carlton got the win, but I don't know fuck all about the scores or anything. To be honest, this game, again, this one just seemed boring. And 70-78. So it was decently close. Looking at the score warm win. Looking at the score worm, Carlton got out to a huge lead in the first quarter and had a average rest of the game. Essendon did pretty average. I don't really rate Essendon that highly, and yes, they've pulled some scalps and they've had some fun games throughout the year, but I feel like this was a safe bet, Carlton, and Carlton managed to get it done, but in a similar way to like the North win, where they got it done in an unconvincing manner, which is like, yes, it's the 4 points on the board, that's all that matters, but is it really, especially during this part of the season where you want to be making a push? Carlton want to be making a push, which they're not going to fucking make, but they want to be, and North want to be establishing something. thing, and they're just fucking not. I don't know, two kind of shitty games on that Sunday, but an actual fucking ripping game today that I'm still watching the fucking whatever the after game shit going on, you know. I'm still a little bit actually taken aback from it, to be honest. This was another close Collingwood thriller. You get these a fair bit, but this one in particular felt like there was a lot in it. It didn't really just feel like Collingwood at any stage could run away with it. Even in the last 5 minutes, the last minute could have been different. Maxi Gawn, you know, kicked straight to fucking Hoskin Elliott, trying to hit a switch. Stephen May wasn't happy. Fuck me, Stephen May's a dumb cunt. What a dickhead. What a fucking arrogant prick. Anyway, calm, bring it down. Bring the energy down. Ripping game for the fucking Joe Danaher, Big Freeze, Zemby, what's it called? NMD? MD? MD makes you move, MND makes you not move. That's maybe not funny. Jeck learns empathy at age 700. Nothing's, my brain can't, I need a drink. An unironic, like actual gripping game though. Really fucking great through it. Out at that last quarter was insanity, like just intensity. I sort of was waiting for the Pies to pull away, but Melbourne really made sure that wasn't possible. And even when, I think it got out to about 20 points at some stage, but Melbourne managed to scrap that right back. Cozzy giving away a pretty stupid 50 in the dying moments hurts. They were able to return, I think got a goal after that, but you know, to lose by a point, that's a good fucking effort from Melbourne, and I think internally they need to be happy with that. I think Stephen May needs to not fucking kill the captain's energy with his, why the fuck did you do that? Yes, why did you do that, Max? It was a dumb fucking kick. Could have come over and said that was a fucking dumb kick, bro. Come on. I don't know. They'd be happy with the performance. They'd have to be. It was a great performance. They could have won this game. A few decisions. The umpiring was dog shit in this game, I'm not gonna lie. It got better as it went on, but at the start, there was a few where I'm sitting there scratching my head going, what the fuck is this for? What the fuck's happening? A few horrendous calls, honestly, which in a tight game like this does technically spell the difference, but I think it was pretty piss poor both ways, maybe leaning to the Pies a little bit more. If I have to hear the commentators suck Dacos off, and I'm talking the wettest, slobberiest head possible, waterworks at the mouth, foaming at the mouth, all over Dacos's Johnson. One more time I might do something violent, because it's fucking unbearable. Dacos played, well, okay, he didn't play like shit, let's not say that. He got tagged out of this game for the vast majority of it. And yes, he kicked a goal and he played pretty fucking well, got a fair few disposals and shit. Pretty impactful disposals when he got them, sure. He's that quality of player, that's to be expected. But he got tagged the fuck out of this game. Langdon did so fucking good on him. You can't understate it. You just can't. This is one of the most comprehensive fucking tagging efforts I've seen. And you know, it wasn't just Langdon. I think fucking Clayton Oliver was on him for a little while. Clary played shit too. Not shit, but fumbling under pressure that wasn't there. Confusing. But just, I don't know, I'm pretty raw from this one. You know, Cozzy played well. I'm just trying to think what was going on. Cozzy played pretty fucking well. He kicked a crazy little on the ground sort of, I don't even know what the fuck happened. He fumbled the ball, it landed on ground, he just flicked it forward and it rolled through for a goal. Not many other players can do shit like that. He's electric to watch. But Josh Dacos played really well as well. The better Dacos, hot take. Wrong, it's not true. It's not, I want it to be true, but underrated, underappreciated. Gorney was fucking dominant. He beat out Cameron most of the day. Cameron's still pretty good. You know, generally, lots going on. This was just classic. It was a classic. I'm a bit frantic and fainting. So I'm gonna move on now, but you know, good on Melbourne. That would have been a thriller, no matter where you were in the G, no matter who you went for. Big turnout, gotta be happy. Shout out people with MND, for real. That was fucking stupid joke before. Let's do the tips for next week. Let's do it. Starting the round out on Thursday night, we have Dogs and at Marvel. That'll be fucking ripping. Not gonna lie, I'm keen for this. The Dogs should win, and I think a comfortable 2-goal margin minimum, which is what I said last week, I think, around there, or some, oh, that was following through. That one had something to say. The Dogs should win this more comfortably. Like, this is an easier tip than fucking Hawthorn, but I'm just, you know, Saints, they have the ability to fucking spoil everyone's fun, and go and lose to fucking West Coast. What the fuck? But anyway, you know, I reckon the Dogs get this one done. I reckon it's a good rebound game for them. It puts a bit of pressure on the Dogs though to win this game. It's kind of a fraud check. If the Saints are able to wipe them out here, that's bad. That's spelling badness for the Western Bulldogs. But I don't really have that much faith in the St Kilda club at the moment. It'd be fun. It'd be a fun game to go watch. Big Nas would be fun to watch. You know, it'll be thereabouts. Defensive unit versus fun stoppage team. Lots of grit. It'll be fun. I'm going the Dogs. I just think they're the better outfit, even though they've been disappointing last week. They'll turn around. That's sort of just it. But yeah. Then we got Hawks and this will be cracking. Hawks and fucking Adelaide at Tasmania on Friday night. Oh, I got the Hawks in this one. I think Adelaide are a great outfit. Don't get me wrong. I was just singing their praises. I think they're fucking ecstatic to watch. So are Hawthorn. To be fair, this should either be very high scoring, very free flowing, or very low scoring and very fucking pressure heavy. Either way, it'll be a ripping to watch. And I've got Hawthorn in this only because they play Tassie really fucking well. They kill us every time we go up there. And I don't think Adelaide are going to love these freezing cold conditions as much as Hawthorn will be able to sort of turn it out into something that benefits them. So just for that one, yeah, I'm going the Hawks, but this will be a absolute cracker. This is looking like game of the round for me. Giants and Lions at the Gabba 120 on Saturday. We're gonna lose. We're gonna fucking lose. I'm tipping the Lions. I'm fucking tipping the Lions. I'm jumping board again. This is one of those ones where even if we won last week, I'd probably steer the Lions on this. They need to respond from the Crows last week. We don't look like we can fucking pull much together at the moment. We look pretty bad. This should be a gimme for the Lions. And if it isn't, don't worry, I'll be over the moon. I'll be celebrating as if I predicted this as a fucking 4D chess move just to get the tipping gods on the actual side of how I want something to win. What? What is he saying? What is he saying? Fucking Brizzy by 5 goals, to be honest. I think maybe then we start rebounding. Hopefully. By the way, I never fucking said this in the game, in our analysis. Daniel came back, Toby got injured, and he was fucking out of the game by like quarter time, but he played until halftime. And then Brett Daniels came in and played below average, which just sucks. It just sucks to see. He could have lit everything up, and he could have been my saviour. And last year I was trying to prompt cunts to be like, he's actually in all-Australian form. Nah, for real. He was towards the end of last year, but fuck, bro, fuck. Just disappointment. Anyway, we're gonna lose that game. Then we've got Cats and the Bombers at the MCG. Cats are going to win that one. It'll be much more definitive if it was at GMHBA, but I still think even at the G, the Bombers, they're just gettable. They're gettable at the best of times, and I think that the Cats are the perfect team to get them, and I think that Cats get them in this one. Pretty easy, simple tipping in my head for this. Then we got Dockers and North at Optus Stadium. I want to tip North, but I'm not going to. I got to get some fucking tips correct. So I'm going to go with the safe option here of the Dockers. The Dockers are playing some alright footy, some pretty decent footy, and I think that North are a fucking easy team for them to pick off and just sort of outclass with a bit of that slow reserve footy actually suits Freo in this one. So I think that they get this job done pretty easily, pretty comprehensively. Again, this is one that North is okay to drop in the grand scheme of things. I just don't think North are doing as well as they should be. So unless they really come out and do a fucking like convincing performance here and pull off a pretty big upset, that'd change my tune a little bit. But right now, where everything's at, I'm just unhappy with the performance of both teams. So it is what it is, but it'll be the Dockers in that one. Sunday we have Melbourne and Port at fucking Adelaide Oval. That'll be fun. That'll be thrilling. I'm gonna go the D's. Right, here's my Lucy. Port just beat us, so they'll be looking for some form, and it's back at home. And they always play better at home. They play pretty fucking well at Manuka, but calm. No, but I don't know. The D's, they're in some decent form, and they'll be fucking fuming with this loss. And I think that they should be able to respond against Port. Port's intensity can get pretty high. I'm not gonna try pretend like they're not a fucking decent outfit on their day. But the Pies' intensity is as high as it gets, sort of. Not really, but you know, it's up there. And they met that challenge really well, and I think they can meet this challenge really well. They'll be copping a lot of fucking shit from the crowd. That might favor them. That might rile them up a bit. Unify the group. I'm sensing a sneaky upset win here. It technically is an upset. You wouldn't be convinced on the fucking ladder percentages, but it is technically an upset win here with the betting odds, and I really see Melbourne winning that one. But that is my Lucy. That one could easily go the other way, and I'll feel like a fucking dickhead if it does. But you miss all of the shots you don't take. How many times have I said this in this fucking season for the worst calls? But I'll keep saying it. I'm gonna keep missing all these shots that I do take. Ew! And then to close the round out, we got Carlton and West Coast at Optus as well. Carlton are gonna get that one done. I think that even on their day, West Coast are in they come up with a challenge against fucking Carlton's game plan. The game plan that doesn't work against most teams really works against West Coast. That slow, bomber down the line, contested footy. They're just going to outclass West Coast. I genuinely see that coming for a pretty four-quarter dominant performance. That's it's on the table there. It's on the table for the taking. The battle of the Cripses. Who's the better crisps? Crips. Who's the better chips? Crisps? Or fucking chocolate? Also in the UFC news, fucking quickly forgot, but I gotta sneak this one in. Holy fuck. Shout out Calla Harrison, dominant performance. Patchy Mix, underwhelming as fuck. I forget the name of the Russian lad, but I think he's in welterweight or something. I don't know, he was in light heavyweight. Whoever the fucking Russian lad for light heavyweight, I'll put a thing up in there. His knockout was insanity. Joshua Van's knockout was insanity. Van fought fucking unbelievable. He was gun as fuck. He was probably the highlight of the night. The fucking fight bonus better gun to him. But yeah, main card, Sean O'Malley, Marab 2. I didn't see that coming. I did not see a submission from Marab round 3 coming. Sean actually looked better in this fight until that round 3. Like in the first round, he was coming a lot more low. It was very opposite to the last one, where Marab was like very on the back foot in the last fight and just trying to pull Sean forward. In this one, he was much more, as you would sort of expected the first time, just laying on that pressure, and just fucking couldn't. Sean couldn't get off the fence for most of the fucking night, and he wasn't improving the wrestling. No jiu-jitsu threat, nowhere to be seen. And yes, you can't fucking learn that in a year. That's fair enough. You can't just pick up jiu-jitsu and beat a wrestler who's been wrestling since he was a fucking child. But I expected something a little bit different. Even some more targeted in the body. Them fucking body kicks were working. They were hitting Marab, but he got a really good hook to the body at some stage, but it did nothing. You know, the machine, mate. The gas tank on Marab is unbelievable, and he just fucking dominated Sean. It's an embarrassment to be, I think this is like Marab's first finish in like 4 years. And it's a submission, his first ever submission in the UFC against, you know, former champion on a champion rematch sort of thing. It was just a fucking massively impressive performance. Marab, bantamweight go. Undisputed. I think Sandhagen and Marab would be an interesting fight. Sandhagen and either of them would be a fun fight, so I don't know who gets that, him and Jan, whoever gets the shot next, but either way, I'm looking forward to whoever Marab fights next, and I'm looking at whoever fucking Sean fights next as well. Sean, that sucks, bro. Sucks to suck, cunt. Maybe you shouldn't have got a 6'9" tattoo. I'm saying it right now. That's the reason you're fucking losing. That's the reason why you're kind of corny, brother. All that no wanking and fucking dyeing your hair your natural hair color. Did nada. Pick up the bong, you'll be better. You should fight high. Do a fucking Nate Diaz. That'll fix all your bad luck. Anyway, I'm done. I gotta go fucking drink. Bye. Yeah.